answer questions. I don't know. You want it to be filmed now? Can I?
No, you can look at you and because I doing this, I don't want that to be.
Oh my
Have people
gosh,
look at you differently.
See, now it's something. I don't even know who was talking about anymore.
You was asking me about my life.
Okay, so
You was
did
asking
you?
about my life.
After you graduated high school, what did you do?
After I graduated high school in June of 1986, right? I was 16. So I worked. I waited tables at night in Cruise Bay, getting tips. And I get tips, and then I worked at Allen Williams. I worked there. And I saved my money, and then I left in January to go to start college in the spring semester. And I went
Start college where? Where did you go?
Staten Island.
In New York?
Yep.
Okay.
And my fiance,
Who was your fiance?
who I got engaged to, Sheldon, was living in the Bronx.
Okay, and then you was 16. Where were you living?
I wasn't 16. I had turned 17. I graduated at 16 in June. In September, I turned 17. And then in January, I went to Staten Island, started at Wagner College. And I started at Wagner College. And Clarence came up to New York and practically stalked me, basically. And invited me to see a play with James Earl Jones and Courtney Vance. And James Earl Jones passed away. God rest his soul. And Courtney Vance is married to Angela Bassett. They have children and stuff. And Courtney Vance was a young actor at the time. And I was living on Staten Island, going to Wagner College. I was in the dorms. And Clarence came up and he invited me to go see the play.
How did he know that you was there in Staten
Because
Island?
when I left, remember I was working for the company he was working for. So when I left,
And this is the thing. Why didn't you call the police? That's friggin' predator. You're 23 years older than this woman. Why are you taking her on a date? Okay, go ahead, Gala. How did he think? I'm touching my clean hand, sanitize your hand. Touching this Goodman nonsense. Goodman.
so we stayed in touch, you know.
Why?
We stayed in touch.
Why?
And when I left Wagner, I came here to Maryland to stay with my sister in Baltimore. Because
And were you in? You weren't in college anymore? Gala,
Good.
you weren't in college anymore?
No, I left Wagner.
You
And
dropped out of college?
I dropped out and came to Maryland. I worked.
How old were you when you dropped out of college?
I was maybe 17.
17? 18?
Or so. Yeah.
You were 18 when you dropped out of college? And you was living with Auntie Shala and Liborn?
Yeah. And then I left and returned. I left and returned to New York because I can't be around confusion.
You left and went to New York?
I left and returned to New York to the Bronx. What's happening? Remember them days, Millie? We were in the
Okay,
class.
and you was not in school.